Okay, so I'm gonna do a little spoiler alert for the choreographer. One of the scenes that stood out the most reads, I was hurt even more that never during the time I was coaching was there a step spectacular, but the year I was kicked off, they had one. I took it personal because I knew they only created it so they could list Jasmine as a founder to make me angrier because they knew I would attend, just like I did other performances to support some of my other friends. Okay, so if you read this story, if you've read it, this scene stands out because the Magruders are wrong as hell for saying that Jasmine Pence is a founder of Ann High School step team when Shauna Jackson did it alone. I mean, the bitterness from the Magruders, Mr. and Miss Magruder, were wrong as hell. They are so bitter. I mean, if you read this story, you'll understand that these people were wrong as hell how they treated Shauna. Shauna didn't try for captain. Shauna was a senior. Shauna started this team and ran it successfully. Coached 9th through 12th grade when she was a freshman, a sophomore. And senior year comes around. She has a lot of things she has to do. I mean, she's a senior. That alone should say certain things, right? Shauna had a mother that worked at the school. So Shauna had a lot of things going on, as well as, trying to get into college. So she tried out for captain junior year. So why would she have to try out again? First off, you know all the issues Shauna had with her mother that was working at the school. Now all these other students, they can come to school and say, oh my goodness, my parents aren't here. When they look back on their high school, their parents aren't there. So Shauna's mother works there, and Mrs. Magruder, on numerous occasions, you knew that Shauna had issues with her mother because Shauna's friends were in your office before. So if you knew that, not one of those points were you going to use to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to just make you a captain. But nah, you say, you know what, I got the upper hand now. You started the team, but I got the upper hand. So I'm just going to take you off the team if you keep having an attitude. Now, Shauna had an attitude, but you knew Shauna's mom worked at that school. And you knew she had issues with her because Shauna's friends were in your office and told you the times that she ran away. So you heard Shauna on the phone crying numerous times. You didn't care. So Shauna didn't try out for captain. She told you she had a lot going on. Okay. But why are you going to lie about who founded the team? One person started that team at Ann High School. Why would you lie about who founded it? Not two people. Jasmine Pent did not help start that team. She followed Shauna around. And you got to really pay attention as the reader to pick up on these things. Because a lot of people, they see a senior. They like, okay, she started this team. It's senior year. She got a lot of things going on. And a lot of people know, the realness behind having a parent working at the school with you. Especially a parent that doesn't get along with her child and she's running a team successfully. So why in the world are you lying about who started this team, Mr. Magruder and Mrs. Magruder? Why are you guys lying about who started Ann High School step team? It's like in movies, you hear about people, you see people searching around for the truth, right? You see them trying to figure out, investigate, they're investigating, what's the truth? This is Ann High School. Nobody should have to investigate who started this team. The first year, Shauna's freshman year and sophomore year, they know the truth. Now here, the Magruders come along, and they twist it. It ain't even twist, they just lie completely. 1 and 2 is two different things. One founder versus two, that's a complete, I mean, just how bitter could you be to lie about that? You didn't want Shauna to have that team by herself, right? That's why you had captain trials her junior year in the first place, right? Because you didn't want her to say all 4 years belong to her. You sat your old ass down and you thought about that. You was like, that means for 4 years, this girl, when she gets older, she said, I did this all by myself. Your old ass didn't want that. So here come 2, 3 more captains. And then you turn around and say another one helped start the team. No, Shauna Jackson was the only founder of Ann High School step team. So, I got real deep into that part of the book because it just hurts so bad that people have to investigate who started this team. The first and the second year, they already know the truth. But then they're like, okay, what happened to the truth? So now you got third year, they didn't lie about anything because Shauna was still there. The fourth year, they added in Jasmine Pent as the founder. Jasmine Pent did not help found that team. Jasmine Pent was a tag-along, to be correct, who did not run that team successfully because everything was terrible. So Jasmine Pent did not help found Ann High School step team. Shauna Jackson was the only one. So the first and the second year that the team was there, those kids know the truth. And now, years later, they're gonna have to investigate stuff. You like, hold up, I thought I remembered it this way. No, you did. You were correct when you say only person I remember is Shauna Jackson. I don't remember no Jasmine Pent. All the people from Shauna's first and second year on the team, they won't even remember who Jasmine Pent is. And at this school and high school, Mr. Magruder and Miss Magruder, you gonna sit around and lie about who founded the team? I mean, that's one of the most pivotal points in this book, is really putting together Shauna's life. When she was in high school. Even though Shauna's 35 in the book, while she's, going through her, her life, she talks about her time when she was in high school. And it's so important for people to understand, because the things Shauna did, Shauna went off. And Mr. Magruder, living in this part of New Orleans, he got soft. He didn't think Shauna existed. Shauna blacked out. Her and her homegirl blacked the hell out. And I won't spoil the rest of that, but it just, even though I wrote this, I still, I get real bitter when I remember the part that I wrote about when Shauna was in high school, when this man lies about who founded the team. Two people didn't found Ann High School step team. Only one did. Her name was Shauna Jackson. And Shauna Jackson endured a lot of pain on top of creating the routine, doing her studies, trying to focus on other extracurricular activities. She did that by herself as a freshman and a sophomore and a junior. Who was Jasmine Pent? We all want to know. If she helped found the team, then everybody Shauna's freshman and sophomore year helped found it as well. The Magruders, they're mentioned a few times in here. And it's just really important to, when Shauna talks about when she was in high school, really pay attention to the part about the situations with the Magruders, because how Shauna reacted, she's lucky, for one, because she didn't know she could be that crazy. She's lucky she learned that young, because she didn't know she could black out like that. When I say blacked out, I mean Shauna seemed like she could have done anything. Everything was just set up to a way where she did the minimum. This was crazy. I mean, she started that team. The Magruders gonna take that lightly in this part of New Orleans. Like, the Magruders try to put themselves out there as if, we those black people that, we know the streets, we know this, we know that. And then they met Shauna. So when they met Shauna, everybody in New Orleans was like, "Did y'all get soft?" I'm just assuming that's what the people on the streets in this book would have thought that knew them. Anybody that knew the Magruders, you're like, "Wait a minute, did y'all get soft? She started the team, you kicked her off. We in New Orleans. This is Ann High School, and you just gonna kick her off, right? You got the upper hand. She can't do anything. Y'all just some bitter old people who want to take that with y'all the rest of y'all lives, right?" Shauna Jackson has started that team alone. And it's important for the reader because you can learn from her experience. You know, you could really learn from her situation. She could be in a hell of a lot of trouble today had she not experienced this with the Magruders, because she didn't know she could get this mad. You know, she's lucky she was a minor. She's lucky she got a second chance. Right? So Shauna gets a second chance. And she took that experience with her for the rest of her life. So in my opinion, Shauna needed that team because she learned so much. And she does not regret meeting the Magruders, because without them, her blacking out situation would have never happened. She needed to know that's how she could get. She needed to know who really lived inside of her. So yes, she loved stepping. Yes, you know, it gave her something to do, and yes, it was natural for her. But she needed to know who that villain was that lived inside of her. She needed to understand who that person was so that she could correct that person, because that person could do some damage. So she had to check herself. Check out The Choreographer if you haven't.